So this is the long awaited where the heck has Beauty Passion been video. Now y'all getting me in my natural state. I washed my hair and I got my ends clipped. She cut off a lot of my hair, actually. She cut off a lot of it because she said it was damaged from the color, which I understand, because when I got the color I didn't like it, and so I didn't take care of it, to be honest. So she cut off a lot of it. So this is my hair curly. I apply my You Got Edges. If you haven't seen my alopecia video, thank you everybody for watching my alopecia video. 367,000 views. Thank you so much. If you haven't watched that video, please check it out. It's my most viewed video on my channel. I talk about my journey with dealing with alopecia, with family, friends, boyfriends. And I'm gonna do a follow-up to that video soon. I just didn't have time to do it today. I was gonna do it today, I didn't have time. So next week I think I'm gonna wear my hair straight and back in a ponytail, and then that's when I'm gonna do the updated version of the alopecia video. Look out for my edge control coming called You Got Edges. Make sure you look out for that. That'll be dropping soon, before 2022. All right, so I was debating on if I should do this video or not, because I'm in a good mood, and I don't know if this is going to take my mood down, because I'm just going through a lot of things that I've been through. I'm almost about to cry already. See, I'm just going through a lot of things that I've been through in the last couple of months, and I guess I just feel like I owe it to y'all, because y'all been with me for the last couple of years, and you know, anything that I'm going through, I try to just come on here and just talk to y'all about it. You know, y'all my friends, you know. And, you know, instead of me being lonely, I talk to my subscribers, you know. You know, it's part of your healing. So, let me see. Where do I begin this at? So, earlier this year, as you know, I prepare taxes. And earlier this year, it was a difficult tax season. The government was giving out all kind of stimulus checks and all kind of stuff the government was giving out, which it was a good year. It was a difficult year for tax preparer, but a good year for people that were struggling through the pandemic. I tried to coupon and do taxes, and at one point I just couldn't do both. It just wouldn't work. I couldn't focus on couponing and focus on taxes. So I cut couponing out totally, and I just focused on taxes. And it was just a lot of ups and downs with the IRS, but I got through it. It was difficult. I got through it, and that was the great part of it. So, my daughter had decided that she wanted to move out, which is good. You know, at one point you do have to move out from your family. I did at 19. You know, she's a little late. She's you know, trying to, you know, make her own life. I feel like you really don't know the world until you get out there and start being on your own. So like the end of February, March, she had started to look for apartments. She found one. One of her friends lived in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and she said there was an apartment available. Little baby went and applied for the apartment, and she got approved for it. So she was getting ready to go to Kenosha, Wisconsin. She was, you know, getting prepared to move to a totally different state too. I live in Illinois. We live in Illinois, and she was being prepared to go to Wisconsin, which was about an hour and 30 minutes from my house. It is what it is. You have to grow up one day, right? And so my daughter's preparing to move out of state, and I'm still doing tax season. So about the end of March, she hasn't moved out yet. And tax season is still going on. It's starting to slow down a little bit. And so I got a break. So I'm just going to start with this story. So I got a little break, and I went to go get my nails done. So I made me an appointment. I had everything planned out this day. I'm gonna go and eat, and then I'm gonna go and get my nails done. So I get up, I take the key to my assistant because she was still in the office that day for me, and I just pretty much had a day off. And I'm at Denny's, and I'm sitting there, And I pulled out my laptop, just going through some things to make sure everything is right with the taxes. I didn't mess up nothing. I didn't, you know, forget to send somebody in, whatever. So as I'm sitting there, my daughter calls me and I answer the phone. And when I answered the phone, she was hysterically screaming on the phone. It's a fire. The house is on fire. The house is on fire. So I'm like, what do you mean the house is on fire? She's like, the house is on fire. I'm like, what? So at this point, I'm like 20 minutes away from my house. So I'm just like, great. So I grab all my stuff and I run out of Denny's. The waiter seen, you know, heard me, you know, on the phone. So he's like, yeah, I heard, go ahead. So I'm running out of Denny's. I'm getting in the car because her and Puka is at the house. So I get in the car, I'm driving and I'm crying. I'm driving. I'm trying to get there because, again, I'm 20 minutes away. I'm not around the corner. So I'm driving and something hit me and say, call her back, because something just told me to call her back. So I'm driving, I call her back. I said, Deja, tell me exactly what happened. She said, our house is on fire, but it didn't start in our house. I'm like, okay. See, in my mind, I thought the house was on fire because it started in a house. She said the lady downstairs house caught on fire, and I was on the 3rd floor, and it just raised up to our house. And she was in the bathroom, and she said Puka walked to the kitchen and then kind of like turned around, which is like rare because he's a boy, so he's always find something to do. He always get into stuff. So for him to turn, she said he turned right back around. She said, so when he did that, she kind of was like, that's weird. So then she at this point she didn't smell anything. But then she said right after he came in, she said she started smelling it. She said it smelled through the toilet. She said the smoke was coming through the toilet that she was sitting on. So she said she gets up, and she said when she goes into the living room, she said that the whole living room is filled with smoke. So she said she had a robe on. Puka had a pamper on. Did he have a t-shirt on? I don't even know if he had a t-shirt on. And she said she grabs him. She grabbed my slippers. She put on her robe. I think she was already in her robe. And she said she just ran out the house, y'all. So when she said that, I got a little relief. I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, can you go over there? Because I thought he could get to her faster than I can, but I was able to get there a little bit faster than him. Like when I got there, he pulled up like 5 minutes later. Thank God for my family and my dad, because he jumped right on it. You know, he jumped right on it. So when I get there, y'all, my house is on fire, y'all. When I say my house is on fire, like smoke is coming out of my house. I'm trying not to cry, God. So I'm in disbelief. I'm just in disbelief because, like, I just left the house 20 minutes ago, not even 30 minutes ago. How did this happen? And so I'm like, where's Deja? You know, I'm talking to the neighbors. The neighbors like, oh, that's the lady that lives here, right here. So, you know, by this time the fire, you know, men are on the scene and everything. And I'm asking them, like, where's my daughter? Where's my grandson? Because I couldn't find them. I didn't know where they was. So he said, oh, they're in the ambulance. So I said, okay. So now I'm walking to the ambulance, and it was not real cold, but it was cold enough. So when I get to the ambulance, Deja and Puka, they just, you know, little baby and Puka, they just checking them out to make sure everything is right with them. And they're going to release them in a minute. So in the meantime, I walked back to my house just to make sure it wasn't a dream. First of all, let me go back. The lady whose house caught on fire that was on the 2nd floor, she claimed she was asleep. And all of a sudden, her son ran in the room and said the house was on fire. When she did that, she said the way our apartment was set up is no back door. Both of the front and the back doors are in the front of the house. So if anything goes on in front of the house, you're stuck in the back of the house. Unless you're going to have to jump out the window if you got to get out. So luckily, by the time she got out, well, I ain't gonna say luckily. By the time she realized that the fire was bigger than what she thought, she couldn't go out the door because the fire had started in the kitchen. So our living room, that's where the balcony is at. She had to throw her son off the balcony because the house was on fire. The house was on fire. So thank God for the neighbors. The neighbors were able to break his fall. They caught him. So when she threw him out the window, they caught him with a blanket or something. They caught him with. But she's a bigger lady, and she had to jump. She had to jump out her balcony. She was on the second floor. And Deja said she was hurt. She was just laying there. The ambulance came and got her. She had to break some bones because she was just laying there. She said she couldn't move. All right. They rushed her off to the hospital, her and her son. And thank God that she did have a couple of, fractured bones. And her son was great. Her son was doing okay. So at this point, they're in the hospital. They're getting treated. The news came. It was on the 5 o'clock news.
A woman and child seriously hurt after fire sweeps through an apartment in the Clearing neighborhood. You can see all the damage left behind to this building on West 63rd Street. Both of the victims are in critical condition.
They reported, and the fireman pretty much gutted out her whole house. Like, her whole house was gutted. Nothing was in there left. Like, nothing. Like, if you look through her balcony, you can see straight through her house to the window. So they gutted out her house. My house, they pretty much gutted the living room and the kitchen. So like the living room and the kitchen needs to be repaired in my house. The back of the house was fine, other than the house smelling like complete smoke. But I thank God that Puka and little baby was able to get out of there. I thank God every day, because if anything would have went wrong with them, I don't know where I would be at, to be honest. So, I thank God that everybody was okay in the fire. But I was still in disbelief. And one thing that bothered me when I was going through that, with my house burning down and stuff, trying not to cry, y'all, dang. But one thing that I was kind of upset about was, like, I always been like the strong person. I always been the one that had to, step up when my daughter needed anything. My family needed, anything from me. I was always the go-to person. So, I said that to say, when I was going through that little moment where I was, like, upset and sad about it, not a lot of people, but, like, when I used to express myself to people, they used to be like, well, it could be worse. Like, Deja and Puka is good. It could be worse. Yes, it could have been worse, but don't dismiss my feelings about it. I'm still sad because this is where I live. It caught on fire. I can't go in here. I can't live in this building. I can't go back to my apartment today because they had to cut off the water, and it was a risk. It was a risk. Sometimes fires start over again. So I couldn't live there. I couldn't live there. So now I went from having a place to stay to being homeless in a matter of 24 hours. So that was the main thing that used to bother me. Like, when I'm expressing myself to people and they dismissed it, like, well, why you upset? Why are you crying? Your family is good. It could be worse. But it's like, don't dismiss my feelings because of that. I'm still sad because I went from having a living somewhere comfortably to now being homeless. Now, God leads your steps when you don't even know they leading your steps, y'all. My daughter had an apartment available. She had just got approved. So had she not got approved for her apartment in Wisconsin, we would have been homeless. Like, we would have been able to go to my mom and dad's house, but we wouldn't be able to live like we're living now. Like, it's just basically we moved from one apartment to another. And it's a lot and for me, I don't like being a burden on people. So I really didn't want to go to nobody's house. People will offer me to come to their house. Like, my family and friends was like, yeah, you can come and stay over here. But let's just be honest. It's a burden when you go to somebody's house. I'm bringing my daughter, me, and my grandson, who's very active. At this point, he had just started walking. So it was like, I didn't want to be a burden on nobody. Even though I knew I had somewhere to go. the best place for me to go was where I ended up at, which was Wisconsin, because I was still able to have my own room, my own space. I'm still in tax season, so I still had to have a clear mind. Remind you all that I still had to have a clear mind. I had to pretty much leave my office because I couldn't drive from Wisconsin to Illinois every day. That was an 1.5-hour drive. I wasn't going to do that. So I pretty much had to leave my office and move to Wisconsin and pretty much work out of Wisconsin. So that was the only thing I really was upset about. Other than that, everybody was supportive. They called me, they checked in on me. You know, a lot of people, you know, after a while it got a little overwhelming because people wanted me to be, people was calling and asking, you know, pretty much they wanted to hear the story over and over again. You know how it go. People want to hear it. And after a while, I just didn't want to tell the story over and over again. Before we went to Wisconsin, let me take that back. Before we actually moved to Wisconsin, we stayed in the hotel for 2 weeks because I couldn't just go out and I couldn't just like leave the next day because I still had clients that scheduled appointments. I still had a lot of work that I had to do in Illinois. So I couldn't just jump up and go to Wisconsin. So for 2 weeks, we did stay at a hotel. They Red Cross put us in a hotel for 2 weeks, and we did stay there before we did our transition to Wisconsin. All right, so after that, y'all, I went into a depression. Yep. I was trying not to cry, y'all. So look. After that, I went into depression because I started feeling like 2021 was supposed to be my year of more growth. When you're an entrepreneur, every year is supposed to get better. So this was supposed, I had so many aspirations for that year. Last year I caught COVID, so that threw me behind. Plus all the other stuff that I was dealing with last year. Then here go the beginning of the year, and it starts off with me being homeless and my whole house catching on fire. So I went into depression. When I went into depression, thank God I was living in Wisconsin because Wisconsin is very quiet. It's very, very quiet. So I was able to really be at peace and be away from everybody instead of people always calling me to ask me for stuff. I pretty much went into depression and kind of like took myself away from the world, if that makes sense. So I pretty much was in my room with my door closed. Every time I wanted to really deal with my grandson, I could, but I really couldn't be like the happy-go-lucky person I was because it was like, now what? Like, now what? You know, my landlord didn't want me to move out, you know, but let's just be honest. If the house was going to take a while to repair because the insurance company had to pay. And you know, the insurance company, they move when they feel like moving. They take forever to approve you. They want to fight it. They was trying to fight it and say like, it was the landlord's fault because something that in the house wasn't, you know, was faulty wiring or something like that. They always try to blame the other person. That's why insurance people are the biggest scams, but we'll get into that later. So it took a long time. I didn't think it was going to take that long time. Like, he promised me like a month or two we were going to be homeless, but it's August and my condo is still not ready, you know. And so I went into depression. Let me go back to that. So I am so grateful. Like I said, God always order your steps because he knew that the only way that I was going to get through this was to isolate me from people. And that's exactly what he did. He isolated me from like people for me to breathe, heal, and get back on the right track. Now, I thought that I was going to be okay, but I felt myself still being sad. Like, even though I'm thankful for the way it went, I did not want to be around people while I was still depressed. And that just be me because it's like, I'm always a happy person. I'm happy, I'm telling stories, I'm cracking jokes, you know. I'm a nice person to be around. A lot of people know that. So if I'm around and you're in a good mood and I'm all huffy puffy down or whatever, I just be feeling like I don't want to be around nobody unless I'm in a good state. Now, I did hear somebody say like, you're supposed to come around family and friends when you're depressed. That make you feel better, and it do make you feel better. But for me, I just need to figure out what the hell am I doing. What's my next steps, God? Talk to me, God. What's going on here? Because this was supposed to be my year, and now in the blink of an eye, I'm in a whole different state. Like, my whole apartment is like in a whole different state. I'm in a different state, and I couldn't take nothing with me. Everything smelled like smoke. When I say everything, everything. So most of those clothes needed to be clean. I had just bought like furniture for my living room that smelled like smoke. So it was a lot of things going on. I came to Wisconsin with a bag of clothes, y'all. A bag of clothes that I was able to like grab a couple of things so I can wash them. I washed them while I was at the hotel, because they had a laundry room in there. I washed them in there, and then we just went to Wisconsin. It was just like that, like with a book bag or something, you know, like a book bag full of clothes. I'm going through my healing. I'm depressed. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm just in Wisconsin in this room with the door closed. I come out to use the bathroom. I come out, I eat, and I go back in. I'll play with Puka every now and then, and I'll go back in. I'm doing taxes still, so I'm sitting in my room doing taxes all day. And that just was my life for the next couple of months. Now, nobody understood what was going on. I wasn't answering the phone. I wasn't going to any events unless it was something like I had to go. If I didn't have to go, I didn't go to any family events. I just pretty much isolated myself from everybody. And so now we're in, let me see, April. And in April, tax season was still going on. They had extended us until May, and I'm still depressed. So I was like, gosh, I'm still feeling some kind of way, you know. I'm going through my healing process, but I'm depressed at the same time, and I'm an introvert, so I'm not being around anybody. My daughter was very supportive. Like, every now and then she'll kick down the door like, well, let's go somewhere. Why you just sit in this room all day? So every now and then we'll go like to the mall to get some air, something like that, take Puka to the park. The good thing about where I lived, I was literally 5 minutes away from a lakefront. In Chicago, where I live, it's kind of difficult to get to our lakefront. You gotta pay for parking. It's just a little difficult. So it was really a breath of fresh air that I was actually not too far from a lake, because that's where I really did a lot of my healing. I would just go to the lake at night. I would just park my car. Sometimes I would just sit in my car. I would just listen to music, and I would just kind of just relax. I walk out on the lakefront, and I just, you know, sometimes spiritually talk to myself or to God or whatever, and I'll go to the lake, and that kind of helped me through my healing. Like I said, God knew where to send me, because had it not been for the area that I was in, I probably would have lost my mind in Chicago, because again, I'm so busy in Chicago. I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing taxes, like I'm moving. And he kind of told me to like sit down for a second, rethink this, because now you got to rethink some things, and then come out a better person. And that's exactly what I did. So I wasn't dating nobody. I haven't been dating nobody. The last person I dated was my abusive relationship in like 2015. I think I met him in 2015, and then I broke up with him in like 2016 or something like that. So I wasn't dating nobody, so I wasn't in contact with anybody. I was I think you call it celibate. Like, I wasn't having sex with anybody, no contact with me at all. Because I feel like when you're going through your healing process, I feel like that's the best thing to do if you're not in a relationship. If you're in a relationship, you have to deal with the person you're with. Like, you can't just cut that person off. That's not gonna work. They're gonna feel like, why? So for me, thank God I wasn't in a relationship, so I was able to heal by myself, you know. And I didn't date anybody, you know. I wasn't sexually active or none of that. So as I was healing, I know I'm gonna cry through this, but it just is what it is. It's just my life. So I'm healing, and I'm going back and forth to Illinois, you know, just to, you know, keep things normal with the office, paying my office rent. You know, every now and then I'm talking to my family. I might go over with, you know, I see them every now and then. I was hanging out with one of my good friends. Well, he's not my friend anymore. I was hanging out with a friend, and I'm gonna go just right into my next story, because this is the next thing that happened to me, other than like all that other stuff. I'm hanging out with a friend, and we had a disagreement about money. Now, I'm the type of friend that I never want to, or I'm just the type of person, like, I never want to get into it with nobody about money, because I make money. I work, I do YouTube, I've been hustling, I've been self-employed for a while now. So whenever I need money, I hustle it up. I work to get the money. So I never really got into it with nobody with money. Anytime I borrow money from anybody, I always paid them back. Always. Nobody is walking around here and saying, man, she owe me some money. Never. If I had $500 and I owed you $500, I would give you all that $500, and then I would just hustle up some money to go and give me something to eat or whatever. That's just how I always used to operate. So this friend that I got into it over money, first of all, I knew that it was coming. I had got to the point where, like, this was the time when the PPP stuff was going on, y'all. Now, y'all know I was putting up a lot of videos about the PPP stuff. I wasn't, even when people asked me in the comments, are you doing any PPP applications? I said no, because I wasn't. Only person application I did was my close family, my daughter, because she has her own business. My brother has his own business, stuff like that. But anybody else, my clients, I didn't do nobody's PPP application, because I felt like the way that you had to do it, I didn't like. The fact that you had to help them with the application, or if you did it for them, they will have to pay you after they got the money sent to their account. I didn't like that. Anybody that knows me, I don't operate like that. Like, I don't want to wait for money, because people have got down on me in the past. So for me being self-employed, certain things I don't do. If it's business and you need me to do something, you have to pay me some kind of deposit up front, so I know you for real, and then I'll do it, and then you might have to pay the other half later. That's kind of how I set up stuff, where it has to, like, you have to approve what I do or whatever like that. With taxes, my money comes straight from these people's tax returns, so I don't have to run around town looking for nobody. That's just how my life is set up. I don't trust anybody. Let's just be honest. And this one friend actually was the only person that I kind of trust. It wasn't 100% trust, but it was like in the 90s. We had been friends for 20 years at this point, and he have never crossed me, you know. We just had a friendship. It just is what it is. We had a friendship. Anytime I needed him, he was there for me if he can come. And anytime he needed me, I was there for him. It was one of those kind of friendships. We were both entrepreneurs, you know. And so, during my depression stage, and again, this was just me getting out and being with family and friends, I was also hanging around him because he made me feel better about stuff. We'll talk about stuff. He was intelligent, you know. He knew how to hold a conversation. He always told me the truth, no matter what it was. If I came up with an idea and he was like, well, what about this though? And I'm like, you think so? So he was one of those friends where I can talk to, because he knew we both was business minded people. So he asked me to do his PP. This is how it went. I hate that I'm telling y'all this story, because to this day, I wish that I would have never agreed to this, y'all. I wish I would have never agreed to this. I would still have my friend if I would have never agreed to this. So he asked me to do his PPP application. And at first I was hesitant. I was like, no, I'm not doing family and friends PPP application, because I don't want to get into it with nobody. I'm like, ask my cousin. She's been doing, you know, people's applications for you, so ask her, because he knows my family or whatever. He said, no, I don't want to give my information to nobody. You already got my information, because I do his taxes. So I say, well, okay, I'll do it. So now it's time to talk about money. We agreed on an amount. I did his application. He got approved for the PPP. I didn't know he got approved for the PPP to, I don't know, a week or two later, because they emailed me and say, hey, now that you know, they email you and say, hey, now that you got your loan, whatever, blah, blah, apply for your second draw. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I didn't even know you got the first draw. So I call him up, hey, you didn't ever tell me you got your PPP money. Oh, I didn't even know. Let me go and check my bank account. Now, y'all, his PPP money was like $17,000, y'all. It's no way in hell, even if you got money, you gonna see a $17,000 deposit, right? Right. So in my mind, I know he ain't finna try to play me, not my best friend. So he called me back about 2 hours later. He said, oh yeah, it came about a week ago. I'll come and get the money when you come back to Illinois. So I said, okay, I'll be there tomorrow, no big deal. So I get to Illinois. I'm about to ride down here and get my duckies. You know what I'm saying? For doing his application. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I had the amount that we had agreed on, he did not have it, y'all. He only had half of it. And so I'm like, in my mind, like, maybe he just playing with me, you know, because it's my friend. Maybe he just playing with me. So he handed me half of the money and told me that he wasn't going to give me the other half because I needed to do the second draw application for him. I said, no, that's not what we agreed on. I said, no, that's not what we agreed on. He said, well, that's what I'm going to give you. Just like that. That's what I'm going to give you. And if you don't do the second draw, you won't get the other half. Now, y'all, when I tell y'all my heart dropped to the floor, I'm going to say my heart shattered. Because I could not believe this person who I've known half of my life is sitting here saying they won't give me what we agreed on. And the amount that he got was nothing compared to what he owed me. And I just, at that moment, I just was in disbelief. Like, are you about to let money come between us? Like, you know that's what you owe me. If I'm saying you better give me this money or I'm not going to be your friend. He was like, I'm not giving you that. I'm giving you this. That's what he told me. Now, y'all, I ain't even going to lie. I've never been that hurt. I have been hurt from friends. But to live through it, I've never felt that much pain. And when he had me that money, y'all, I was so hurt. I threw that money back in his face and I got out of his car. And I said, you will never see me again. And to that day, he's never seen my face again, y'all. Now, I started to, so now that I'm going through this thing with the fire, now I got to heal from a 20-year relationship that I know for a fact that is never going to be the same because you stabbed me in the back over some money. When you're dealing with friends and it gets to money, it's a different kind of level. It's a different kind of level. And I'm an entrepreneur. So that means every penny counts. Every penny counts. If I don't get up and go to work or do YouTube and sit in the house and remind you, I wasn't doing YouTube at all. I stopped, the last time I did YouTube was before the fire. So I would say February. I stopped doing YouTube in like February because I had to focus on, well, I was doing the PPP stuff, but I wasn't on camera. Thank God I figured out the PP, y'all just listen. So I didn't have to really be on camera. So I was able to fit videos in every now and then, but I'm still healing. How could you as a friend do that to me while I'm healing? You know? And so when I left, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. So now I go back into a depression, y'all. I was coming out of my depression. I went back into a depression because now my so-called best friend has just got down on me for some money. Let's just be honest. So when I threw that money back in his face, now I'm talking to everybody, my family, my friends, because they all know him. They all know him. He's like a part of my family. A lot of people agree with me. Whatever we agreed on is what I supposed to have got, you know, because he couldn't do it. He couldn't do the application. That's why he asked me. One of my family members did say that I shouldn't throw away a 20-year relationship or a friendship because maybe he was going through something at that time. Maybe he was just going through something. He wasn't in his right mind. And instead of just throwing the whole friendship away, just look at it like he's going through something. Give him a second. Don't deal with him with money no more. And revisit the friendship at a later date. Now, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I ghost people. I'm not proud to say that, but that was my defense mechanism when I deal with family and friends that do something, say something to me, treat me any kind of way. Boyfriends that I'm dating, boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, I ghost people. Am I proud of it? No. But at that moment, I just be feeling like, I want you to feel this pain that I'm feeling. So if you're trying to reach out to me, you're not going to be able to find me. If you're trying to text me, call me, ride down on me, you ain't going to find me. So the same pain that I feel, I can't beat you up or fight you or nothing like that. I'm not even going to go to that level. But I'm going to disappear out your life. And that's how I dealt with a lot of situations in my life. I just ghost people. I pretty much ghosted y'all, to be honest. I ghosted YouTube. If that's what you want to call it, I kind of ghosted YouTube. Like, this is August. I probably ain't been on camera since January or February. Something like that. You know? So, now I'm back in Wisconsin. And now I'm dealing with a different kind of healing process. And I'm healing and I'm depressed and, you know, I can't believe it, and people are calling me that, you know, he's telling his story, because a lot of people that we know, I mean, we knew people together. So he's telling his side of the story. Of course, he's not making himself look bad. He's making it seem like I should take half now, half later, whatever. That's whatever his story was, that was his story. But people know me. They know that I don't get into it with people over money, because it's like, I don't need to. So a lot of people, let's just be honest, a lot of people went with my side of the story. At one point, he found my cousin. He came over, he went over her house, and he gave her the half portion of the money that he handed to me in a car that day. And she called me up and she said, look, he brought me the money, he told me to give it to you. I felt like you should at least get something. Like, you don't get like nothing. And I understand, like, your feelings is hurt or whatever. I'm the same way. Like, my cousin the same way. She'll be like, F you and whatever, you know. And I kind of felt that way too. But she's like, at least take this. Just take it. And still don't talk to him, but at least you got something. So when she talked to me about it, I was like, you know what, you're right. So I went and got the money from, when I went to Illinois, I went and got the money from her or whatever. And I never talked to him again. Now, after that, he reached out to me. Matter of fact, he called me. And when he called me, no, I'm gonna take that back. After that day, let me see how I did this. So usually I would ghost people, but I felt like he was too important to me for me to ghost. So I did not ghost him. I actually sent him, at this point, I didn't want to hear his voice on the phone, so I sent him a text, because at that I was so hurt, I didn't even want to talk to him on the phone. Like, I'm just that hurt. So I sent him a text, and I'm telling him, like, how hurt I am about it. I can't believe you did this to me. You about to throw our friendship away for this little ass money. Like, really? And he still, in his mind, felt like he was right. Now, at that point, I'm done. I'm done. If you can't understand why I'm hurt, even as a friend, if you see a person hurt, instead of throwing away this relationship or friendship, I would have saved my friendship opposed to letting it go over money. And that's just me. If we arguing about $500, which is that's not what we arguing about. Let's just say we arguing over $500, and I feel like this is going to ruin our relationship. I'm going to give you the $500 because I value our relationship. Our relationship is more valuable than $500. But the fact that he felt like he was still right, that kind of just made me just realize, like, my friend is gone. I don't have a friend no more. My friend, my 20-year friendship is gone. So after that text or whatever, he tried to reach out and call me. I didn't answer. About a couple weeks later, maybe say like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks later, now I'm healing in Wisconsin. He tried to call me again. I didn't answer. He texted me, you know, said, you know, he missed me, he loved me, whatever. And I just never really responded to him anymore. To be honest, I never just responded. I pretty much, I got off my chest what I was mad about, and I moved on. Now, this goes into the next thing. When I was healing, when you're in a state and you're healing, like you're in a healing state, you try to like evaluate everything that went wrong, or maybe something you could have did differently. And for me, I came to the point where like I'm not gonna ghost people anymore, because I felt like I was reading and listening to people, and they were saying to me like, when you ghost people, you take that baggage to the next relationship. So if you ghost 3 people in 2020, you took 3 bags of hurt and pain into 2021. When I read that or heard that, I don't know what I heard it on, I was like, wow, that is crazy, because I never had closure with anybody I ghosted other than my 20-year relationship. Everybody that I ghost, that's just be it. I ghost them, get the hell on, leave me alone. Now if I bump into you and you want a reasoning or you want a reason behind it, I didn't have any problem with letting a person know why I ghosted them. So I remember somebody said, well, don't you think that's cowardly? Well, for me, it wasn't cowardly. I did it so you can feel the hurt that I felt. That was my reasoning. I never was cowardly about it. If I bumped into you, I'm not going to be like, oh, no, it ain't nothing. No, I'm going to let you know why I ghosted you. I'm going to clearly let you know. So for me, part of my healing during this time was me realizing that a lot of, maybe go back and send texts, letters, emails to people that I ghosted. All right, moving forward with this conversation. 20-year relationship, 20-year friendship, gone. House burnt down. In Wisconsin, lost. How did I even get here? That's where I'm at this point. So now, I think that happened in May, maybe. Yep, I think that happened in May. Either May or June. So now, I'm lonely, I'm sad, and I'm depressed, and I'm in Wisconsin. I meet this guy, and I never talk to people. Like, I never talk to guys. Like, no matter what you say to me, it's got to be something extraordinary for me to give you my number. And that's just because I'm at the point where it's just hard to talk to guys. You know, I was in an abusive relationship, and you know, I've healed from my abusive relationship, but it's still parts of me that be like, I wonder, is he gonna be abusive? I wonder what he gonna do. I wonder, you know, so a part of me is still scared of men, to be honest. So when guys talk to me, I just give them the cold shoulder, like, no, you know, like, I don't want to date, I don't want to do anything. So I met this guy, and it was again during my downtime, and I gave him my number, and we decided to, you know, I decided to talk to him or whatever. Now, meeting someone when you're healing or when you're at a low point in your life is the wrong thing to do. As soon as I met him, I knew right off, like, it's not gonna work. We're too much alike. We are too much alike. We're both business-minded people, and a part of me seen my not my ex-boyfriend, a part of me seen my ex-friend in him. A part of me seen that. So it was weird, like the next person I meet was kind of like reminding me of my friend that I just lost. So I think that's a part of me also sitting and talking to him too, because it was like, I felt like I was back talking to my friend. You know, it was, he even though he was nowhere near what we had, he filled that void. That's what he did. He filled that void for a temporary time. Now, we're dating, and more and more things are coming out. You know, more and more things are coming out about him, about me, and I got to a point where it's like we both were like arguing. Like we were like arguing, like in the car arguing. It's like, how we in the car arguing? We just met each other. And he turned to me and said, this isn't gonna work. And in my mouth went to say, no shit, you know? And so when he said that, I was like, okay, but a part of me still wanted to hold on to him. I did not want to lose another person. I just lost a 20-year friendship. I didn't want to lose him too. Even though it was time for him to go, or it didn't really matter, because it was just a brief moment in my life. I wasn't going to jump over a bridge or nothing. A part of me wanted to hold on to him. And that's the worst thing to do. When a guy tells you that it's not going to work, he's not for you, listen to what that guy say, because he's not interested. Men that are interested, they don't even, those words never come out their mouth, because you're their everything. Everything that they want you to be or you are is what they want. So they're not gonna say it's not gonna work, because you are what's working for them. Okay, so now I tried to hold on to something that wasn't there, and he ghosted me. And when he ghosted me, I was devastated. Like, after we had that argument, I felt him pulling away from me. He didn't call me, he didn't text me anymore. Like, he ghosted me. And we knew what it was. We knew what it was. We was gonna, if we had continued on a relationship, it was gonna be toxic. It was gonna be toxic. Even though we liked each other, it was gonna be toxic, because we clashed in too many aspects. And when he ghosted me, now I'm already dealing with the friendship that I just lost. Now I'm dealing with somebody that is ghosting me, that I have feelings for. So now I'm dealing with healing from a situationship, if that's what you want to call it. Healing from a situationship. So I'm healing from that, on top of all the other stuff that I'm healing from. So my life is a mess. My life is a mess. It's a mess. I'm healing from all these different things. I can't get on YouTube because I'm not in a good state. I'm not in a happy state. I don't want to get on YouTube. I don't want to get on camera. I can do these PPP videos, but I don't want to get on camera. I don't want to coupon. I haven't couponed. I just started back couponing, like this week. And make sure you watch my couponing videos. They're on the channel Blowing Coupons. So make sure you watch all my couponing videos on there. Beauty Passion is just going to be vlogs, content, beauty tutorials, stuff like that. So now I'm healing from a situationship. So now this is the month of June. I think I met him in, let me see. I met him at the end of March. June, we dated on and off. July, the situationship was over with. So I'm healing from that. And I'm just trying to figure out where to go. I mean, I'm lonely. I'm in this room, and I'm just lonely. You know, I don't know what to do other than say I'm just lonely and depressed. And so I'm healing. I'm going through all these emotions, and you know, my family is calling me. I'm not answering the phone for none of them. My mom, my dad, like nobody, because in my mind, if I answer the phone, if they need something, if I answer the phone, they're going to ask me for something. And at that point, I just didn't want nobody to ask me for nothing. I just needed time to myself. I needed time to heal to myself. I didn't need to do anything for nobody. Nobody. I just wanted to heal by myself. And so for a while, my family was mad at me. And, you know, they can get in touch with my daughter. And she answered the phone. She'd say, oh, she in her room, whatever. You know, like, just to let them know that I am still alive. But a lot of family members felt like that was inconsiderate. Like, at least answer the phone and tell me you healing or whatever. But you already know how it goes. When people always call you for stuff, they're just going to call and they're just going to tell. If you answer the phone, that means you're okay. Let me tell you what I want since I got you on the phone. And I just didn't want to go through that. So for the month of June and July, I pretty much, let me just say, the whole month of July, I really didn't, like, talk to nobody. Like, my daughter went to Illinois for a point, and she was there for maybe like a month because she was trying to get her driver's license, so she needed to finish her business in Illinois because she had hired a driving school. And I was just lonely in Wisconsin. Puka wasn't there. Little baby wasn't there. It was just me in Wisconsin by myself. I wasn't talking to no friends, family, nothing. So now, and I know that sounds like, well, this is only August, but that month of July really helped me. Like, it really put a lot of things in perspective. Like, I started TikTok. I started to get my groove back a little bit at the end of July. You know, I had healed from that person. It is what it is. I'm healing from my friendship. And I'm just healing from a lot of stuff. Now, fast forward. I healed through all that stuff. I'm going into August. So in August, I'm like, I got to get back on track. You know, my little YouTube money ain't on nothing. When I say nothing, nothing. So I'm starting to do videos. I'm starting to get back into couponing, which I love. I love couponing. And I'm starting to get back to myself slowly but surely. I'm still in Wisconsin. I'm still in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I'm still here. At this point, I've decided that I'm going to move. I told my landlord he don't want me to move, but I'm tired of being homeless. I don't, like, Wisconsin is different. It's not, I can't coupon at the places I usually coupon at. It's very quiet. Everything closes early. Like, the only thing in the whole town of Kenosha that stays open late is maybe a gas station, maybe one McDonald's, and Walgreens. And that Walgreens closed at midnight. So, for me, in Illinois, when I found myself being in a run, I could get in my car and I could drive somewhere. Whether it be to Walmart to do some couponing, CVS to do some couponing, a friend house. I'm able to do things in Illinois. In Wisconsin, I felt like I'm restricted. I can't do anything. I don't know where to go, how far to go. All these people are strangers, you know? And so, I'm at the point where it's time for me to go. I called my landlord. I let him know, like, I'm not going to wait on the apartment to get fixed. They just started fixing the roof of the apartment. The roof, of the building. They just started fixing the roof. It's a long way before my condo gets anywhere together. So, I let him know that I'm moving, you know? And so, I started looking for a place, and that was another thing I had to deal with. So now reality is hit. I gotta move. And so now I'm looking for places. I can't move too far away from my office because who wanna do a drive in Chicago? It snows, and when I say it snows, it's cold. It's snowing. I don't want to have to do a half an hour commute to my office. I don't. So now I'm dealing with the fact of trying to find something in the same area, not going too far. I'm looking. I'm in Wisconsin, so I can't just like, oh, come and look at the apartment now. I got to drive about an hour and a half to get to Illinois. But God found a space for me. I found an apartment. It's not a condominium like I was at. It's a 2-bedroom apartment I found. I was looking for a 1-bedroom because, you know, little baby, she got her apartment. So, you know, she's settled in her apartment. So I was looking for a 1-bedroom, but I actually found a 2-bedroom within my price range. So I just found an apartment you know, so I'll be moving in the next couple of days or weeks. I'm still gonna squeeze like content in for YouTube. Like I can coupon every day. Beauty passion content, I'm a little bit confused with this content, which I need y'all to help me in the comments below. I need y'all to tell me what y'all like me to doing. Couponing, if you say couponing is on Blowing Coupons channel. I still coupon. So if you like to see me coupon, go to that channel, Blowing Coupons. I'm gonna link it in the description box below. But as far as beauty passion, let me know if you like the vlogs. I'm still gonna do videos about my alopecia, tutorials. I started keto, which I'm so happy. I meant to tell y'all, I lost 20 pounds on keto. 20 pounds. That was the last time I put up a video, I think, when I was telling y'all I was going to get a tummy tuck. I lost 20 pounds on keto. I started at 186. I'm currently, when I went to the doctor, let me see, Monday, they put me on a scale on 166. 166. So I was doing good with keto. Keto was the only thing that worked for me. I tried all kind of diets. Y'all look back on my channel, I did the water diet. I did fasting. I did a lot of stuff. And the keto diet is the only thing that helped me because I was able to control it. I was able to cook. When I went out and ate, I knew what I had to eat. I didn't count calories per se. I just knew what I had to eat and I did it. A part of it is Wisconsin don't got a lot of good restaurants. In Chicago, they got all good restaurants. So a part of that was that too. I mostly cooked at home, and then when I did go out, you know, I mean, I still ate fast food, but not as much as I did when I was in Chicago. So 20 pounds down. I did do a lot of content for it, so I will be putting up more and more content. I did put something on up on my channel for what I got from the grocery store from Costco, because I had got a Costco membership this year. So make sure you get the keto items I got from Costco. I also did a video about the keto items I bought from the Dollar Tree, and just like my journey through it. You know, I'm gonna put an updated video up soon on Beauty Passion channel about my keto experience. So that's coming soon. And yeah, clap it up for me. I did it. 20 pounds down. I'm proud of myself because I didn't never think that I can get back down to that weight. I was about to go under the knife, y'all, and I got motivation from my cousin and her husband, and I'm just grateful that they put a light in me, like, you don't need to go back under the knife, just work a little harder on your body and you'll get the results you want. Now I'm down, I'm like 160. I guess I'm still 166 probably, and my goal weight was 160, 155. I really want to start toning up, so I might look at some classes so I can start toning. Like, my stomach is flatter, but it ain't toned, if that makes sense. Like, my stomach is already like hard. I mean, I never had a jiggly stomach. After my tummy tuck, I didn't have a jiggly stomach, but I just feel like my body needs to be more toned, if that makes sense. So I'm working on maybe I already have a membership at Planet Fitness. I've been working there. Every now and then I'll go there in Wisconsin if I'm not depressed, or if I'm just bored, I'll go and work out. So I'm trying to get a normal routine going on with Planet Fitness because they're taking their $24 out of my account every month. So I need to be going there sometime. Now, fast forward to August 7th. Today is my ex-boyfriend's birthday that passed away in a car accident. I don't know if I ever talked about this on my channel, but when I met him, I used to be that person that had a list of things that I wanted my man to be. And when I met him, he had like 8 of the 10 things that I wanted my man to be. So I knew for sure we was gonna be together forever. And I got in a relationship. I don't know how I'm getting into this because I guess today's his birthday. And so I'm kind of in an awkward space too, but you know, I'm okay, you know. God called him home. So what can I do? If God called him home, it's time for him to go home. So when I was in a relationship with my ex boyfriend, we had a great relationship. Like, I'm usually the turn up person. Like, when I'm arguing, I see red. He was always the calm one. Like, okay, like, he never went toe to toe with me. He let me calm down, and then he might came back and revisit the conversation, but he never went toe to toe with me. And so because of that, our relationship really worked out. I was with him for 5 years, and I left him because he couldn't heal from his addiction. Meaning, like, he couldn't fix his addiction. I couldn't fix it, and he struggled in fixing it. And I felt like when you're dating somebody with an addiction, it takes a big toll on the relationship. And for me, and my camera is about to go, I must have been talking a long time. And for me, I just had came to a point where I just didn't want to be with a person that had an addiction no more. I didn't want to be in a relationship with a person with an addiction anymore. So I left the relationship, I ghosted him, and I moved on with my life. Today's his birthday. He died in a car accident on the expressway. And everybody that was in the car with him passed away too. And I felt like broken because he was the person I probably would have spent the rest of my life with if he was able to overcome his addiction, but he couldn't. He couldn't overcome it. And every year at this time, I kind of like leave the house and kind of like go out and get a little air because it's his birthday. And every year on his birthday, we would go out. We would celebrate his birthday. Like, every year he would spend his birthday with me. If he spent it with his friends, he might have spent it like earlier that day or the day before. But every time on his birthday, he looked forward to whatever I had planned for him. So every year on his birthday, we would go out, and I would have so many things planned with him. He used to be so happy. Like, he used to be like, you always go all out on my birthday. And I just, you know, part of me was like, I mean, you my man, so ain't that what I supposed to do? But, you know, I guess it depends on who you with. So I guess if you with somebody and they don't care about you, I guess they'll do that. But for me, if I'm with you and I love you, I'm gonna do stuff for you. So today, I struggled with getting out the bed today, y'all, because I felt a little sad when I woke up because, you know, it's his birthday. But I pushed myself to get out the bed so I can come to Dollar General and coupon, which I've been sitting in this car for an hour. So I've been talking to y'all for an hour. And I feel like that's how I get my peace, is by couponing. So I'm about to go on this Dollar Tree and coupon. I hope they still got some stuff. So make sure you watch my Dollar General couponing haul on Blowing Coupon, because I'm gonna put that up soon as I get done in Dollar General couponing. And I'm just gonna stay busy the whole day. You know, I'm just gonna stay busy today. You know, I gotta go find me something to eat. I haven't ate all day. And I'm just gonna stay busy, and I'm just going to you know, remember him the best way I can. You know, like I said, I always put up like an Instagram post or a Facebook post saying happy birthday to him.
Sometimes I
favorite video of him, so I always post that on his birthday. You know, I don't really, you know, be in contact with his family because it's like, it's so emotional, and they're emotional, and they're gonna make me emotional. So I try to stay away from his family during this time, because I don't want to, I don't know, it depends. I want to just be happy, you know, about his birthday, and just the memory. So I had to finish recording this on my phone because my camera went dead. So I'm gonna go in here, like I said, and finish couponing. Now I'm gonna start vlogging again soon. I'm gonna start putting up content for my You Got Edges Edge Control, And I'm just gonna start just putting up more content on Beauty Passion. Thank you all for 15K. Yay! Thank y'all so much for 15K. I never would have. I started the year off with like 10K. So I guess I got, yeah, about 5,000 subscribers since the last time I really put up a lot of content. So thank you all for that. I really do appreciate it. 15K, we on our way to 20K, baby. We on our way to 20K. 20K is right around the corner. If you ain't subscribed to this channel and you see this vlog, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel right now. If you see this vlog, subscribe to my channel. Now, blowing coupons show you how to save money. On here is Beauty Passion. I show you things about beauty. I vlog now, and I just do a lot of things with beauty content on Beauty Passion. I guess I'm gonna close this out. I hope I caught y'all up with everything. So I'm moving. Once I move into my new apartment, I have my own little space that I can do my YouTube and everything. So I'm gonna have like a dedicated room for YouTube, and I'm gonna decorate my whole apartment. So I'm gonna take y'all with me decorating. Another thing that I learned during my healing process, I learned that all that stuff that I had in my old apartment or my old condo, I did not need. All that stuff was just cluttering my life. I had this thing where like it was hard for me to let go certain things. Like I'll hoarder stuff, and then at one point when it gets too much, I just start throwing away everything. For me, during my healing process, I found out that all that stuff I didn't need. I literally went to Wisconsin with a bag of clothes and a couple pairs of shoes. Most of the shoes that I had ordered a lot of shoes right before the fire. So some of those shoes were new, but I went from a 2-bedroom condo to a small bedroom and I've been living comfortably since March. So when I get back to, when I start moving my things, a lot of stuff I'm going to throw away. I'm not going to clutter my life anymore. And I felt like I can breathe. If anybody knows, when you collect stuff and you start hoarding stuff, it's almost like the items close you in. So now this room that used to be clean is full with stuff. The bedroom is cluttered with clothes and shoes and papers, and I also coupon. So that stuff too. So it's like my whole condo was oversaturated with stuff. Right before the fire, I did start moving stuff out. You know, but now that I'm moving, I can really go through stuff and just throw away a lot of stuff that I don't need or donate it. So I'm glad that I also found that I didn't need those things to live. You be thinking when you're a hoarder that you need these things to live, and you don't. And I realize that. I want to make my life more minimal because I'm getting older. So I don't want my life to be cluttered. I don't want anybody to come into my life that's not healthy. I'm only entertaining healthy relationships going forward. Also, this is like a rebirth of me. I feel like this is a rebirth of me. Wisconsin helped me through this process. When I go back to Illinois, it's going to be a rebirth. It's going to be a rebirth because, again, I dug into my soul and realized some things that I needed to work on, reasoning why I did that, and I really understood what I need to do in life going forward, whether it's money, family, friends, dating, men. I really looked into myself and healed from a lot of pain and hurt and realized what I need to do going forward. So, with that said, most of the things that I hoarded is going to be gone. I do want to start dating again. I pretty much healed from that little situation I had. I healed from that. I would like to start dating. It's hard to date. I'm just going to let y'all know it's very hard for me to date because I'm so used to being by myself. And the first thing somebody do and I don't like, or if I'm dating you and I see something, first of all, let me go back. I'm not gonna ignore the red flags. I'm not gonna ignore no red flags. A part of me making mistakes in relationships is because I ignore red flags, and most women do, because we long for the perfect relationship. That we might see 6 good things, he might have 4 bad things, and we might be like, well, I can deal with those 4 bad things. And then when we start to really deal with it, we start to be like, I don't know if I could deal with this, you know. And by that point, we're in a relationship with them. We might have got pregnant by them. We might have had a kid by them. We're all the way deep in love with them. So now we trying to dig ourselves out this mud and get back to the sunshine because we overlooked the red flag that was right in front of us, to be honest. So for me, dating, it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. I'm older. I'm 42, which I probably don't look like that today because of this wig or whatever. I mean, because of my hair. This is my real hair. Because of my hair and this little thing. But I'm 42 years old, so I'm dating men that are set in their ways. Let's just be honest. They're set in their way. They're not 20. They're not in their teens. They're not in their 20s. Even in your 30s, you can change. But in your 40s, the men that I'm dating, they're like between 40 and 50. I don't think I'm going to go over 50 unless God sends me somebody over 50 that's perfect for me. They're in their ways. Whatever you get is what you're going to get. This person standing in front of me is what I'm going to get. Now, they're going to tweak things for you. Like, if they love you, if they like you, yeah, they'll tweak some stuff for you. But the personality, the man standing in front of me is what I'm going to get at this age range, between 40 and 50. So with that said, anytime I date somebody and I notice something that I don't like, I'm just going to not date that person. I'm not going to ghost them. I'm going to get them a closure text and I'm going to move on. You know, that's my healing process. I'm not going to ghost nobody no more. I don't want to take no more baggage into relationships, friendships, whatever. And I'm going to move on because I don't want to deal with no red flags. I'm not going to ignore no red flags. And I want to only entertain healthy relationships going forward. So I will be dating going forward. Hopefully I can get this dating thing together before 2021 ends. If not, when I go into tax season, I really don't like dating because I'm so busy. So if I start dating and I don't find that person before December or whatever, or God don't send me somebody before December, I pretty much go on a hiatus between tax season. So between January and like April, I'm really not outside anyway. I'm in front of a computer for like 4 months straight. So I don't really meet nobody unless, I meet them at the grocery store or something like that. You can meet somebody anytime, but for me, I probably won't. I usually don't meet nobody during tax season because I'm not out and about. So if I meet somebody, then that's fine. But if not, I really don't want to start dating again until maybe after April or something like that in my mind. So I hope I got y'all caught up on everything. I know this is going to be a long video, y'all, because I talked about a lot of stuff. I was crying in this video and everything, but that's my story. That's my story. It is what it is. That's part of my story, my life, and everything else. So it finally stopped raining in Wisconsin and the sun is coming out again. So I'm going to drive back over here, go into Dollar Tree. I'm trying to figure out, did I miss anything? Puka is getting bigger. So look for him on my vlogs. I'm going to start vlogging him. He's getting so big. He's so active. But he is such a great little boy. He's just great. He's smart. He's active. And he keeps us on our toes. Deja's doing good. She bought her first car. She got her driver's license and she's moving on with life. You know, she's getting her goals done. You know, she likes doing makeup, so she's trying to figure out if is that the path she want to go on. And she's just pretty much trying to figure out her life, you know, with her son. So she's doing good. Every now and then she might get on a vlog too, but she don't like the camera being on her. I don't know why. But every now and then she might get on a vlog. And so that's pretty much it. I think I got y'all caught up on everything. when I move into my new house, y'all, of course, are gonna be able to tell because I'm gonna be in a different atmosphere. And I'm just gonna, you know, do this life thing the best way I can, you know. That's all I can do, you know. 2022, hopefully it's gonna be bigger and better than 2021. Every year should be bigger and better for you, you know. So 2022, I'm looking forward to it. 2021, I had some ups and downs. I still got, you know, the rest of the year left, you know, and God kept me. He kept me. He brought me through. Dang, I wasn't trying to cry again. He brought me through my hard times. You know, I wasn't suicidal or anything like that, you know. I just was depressed, you know. And my mental health was not right. And so I got my mental health back. I'm in a happier place than I was earlier this year. And I'm moving on with life, you know. If I gotta move, I gotta move. You know, some things I just have to say it is what it is. You know, I gotta move. My friendship is gone, it's gone. You know, what can I do? My situationship, however that turned out, it's over with. You can't do anything in life but heal from it. Whatever it is, heal from it. Don't stay there that long and move on with life, because life is too short. Life is just way too short. You never know when it's your day. When God calls you home. You never know when God is going to call you home. So until that day comes, you got to live your life to the fullest. You know, always take a second to heal from things so you'll be a better person on the inside and the outside. But again, don't stay there that long, and move on and keep moving. You know, just keep moving. All right, that's the end of my vlogs. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know this is gonna be a long vlog because I probably didn't stay here and talk almost 2 hours. I'm gonna do a lot of editing on this vlog, but it's gonna get up probably Sunday or Monday. I don't know, Sunday or Monday. So I'm gonna start vlogging tomorrow. This video is gonna go up before that, so that's just to get you all caught up on things, what's been going on with me. Thank you all for reaching out to me and asking me where the heck I was. I try to respond to all your texts, comments, and just let you know that I was doing okay, you know. And I really appreciate you all reaching out and asking, where's Beauty Paschen at? You know, where's the couponer? Like, where are you at? You know, I miss you. We miss you on YouTube. Come back. So I'm back. So let me quit talking so I won't make this video 2 hours, y'all. And I will talk to you all later in my next video. I'll see you in my next video. Hecky no, Joe. It's Beauty Paschen, and I'm out.